All right. All right. So everyone, you should hear that we are being recorded, or it'll pop up with a little thing. You just have to hit accept to consent to listening to the webinar. We actually do not see your videos for anyone attending, so you don't have to worry about that. We don't see you. The only people you'll see are myself and Rebecca. Thanks for joining us today. Today is Intro to TikTok. I am super excited about Rebecca teaching us TikTok today, especially because I don't have a whole lot of experience with TikTok myself, and I am happy to admit that. I am going to be learning along with the rest of you today. So a couple of things about Zoom. I know many of you have already been in the Zoom environment before, but just in case you need a refresher or it is your first time attending one of our workshops, down at the bottom of your screen, you will find a chat bubble. It looks a little bit like a cartoon comment bubble. We do want you to use the chat today. If you have questions that you would like to have me ask Rebecca out loud, please go ahead and put them in the chat. Or if you want her to demo something a second time, or if you didn't catch it the first time, please put that in the chat. We're happy to redo a demo. We're happy to answer any questions. And we want to answer questions as we go along, because I think it helps for building on the understanding of the topics and stuff. So please interrupt us whenever you have a question. If you do not want to type out your question in the chat, you can also use the raised hand feature, which is down next to the chat bubble. And I will go ahead and unmute you so that you can ask your question out loud. Or first I'll address in the chat and ask if you have a question that you would like to speak, and then we can unmute you so that you can speak your question too. Okay. I do also have live transcriptions going. For live transcriptions, you should see a little box that says CC. If you click on that, you can enable the live transcriptions, which means then you can see the text going along the bottom of your screen for what we are saying out loud. If it ends up covering anything that Rebecca's doing in the demo, do know that you can move it too. You can grab it and move it to the top of the screen if you want instead. Okay. All righty. Like I said, we are recording today. We will have a follow-up email that we will send with a link to the recording for today's webinar. We do put them up on our YouTube channel. So we'll have that link for you in a follow-up email. And we also will have some answers to some of the questions and then a copy of today's handout. I will also put a link in the chat for today's handout if you want to get it there, or you can actually reach out to us, let us know, and we will print a copy for you that you could pick up here at the library. On that note too, the library is open. We are following the state mandate. So if you do come into the building, we do ask that you wear a mask while you're here. And all of our programs for September, they will be virtual, except for the first one. September 7th, we do have a keyboard and mouse class that we will be teaching in person. That one does lend itself a little bit better to the in-person environment, so we can cover how to use one of these and how to use your keyboard. There are still a couple of spots left in that class, so if you'd like to sign up for it, you can go to champaign.org/events and sign up for that. And after that, everything in the rest of the ones in September, they will be online. Rebecca has a sheet or a slide basically at the end that will show you what those topics are. So, okay, I think that's it for me. Kind of a long-winded speech today. My name is Susan. I am our technology librarian here at the Champaign Public Library. And I would like to go ahead and introduce Rebecca Van Dusen, who is a library associate who helps with our tech workshops and also works at the desks that you may see when the public service desks when you walk into the library. And she is going to tell us all about TikTok today. Yes. I'm looking forward to it, Rebecca.
Me too. Me too. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. So like Susan was saying, my name is Rebecca. I work with Susan to help teach and assist with the webinars. Let me share my screen so we can show that PowerPoint for today. I'm going to go back up to the beginning here. Slideshow. Here we go. Okay, I hope you're seeing that first slide that says Intro to TikTok.
I am, yes.
Okay, cool. So let's dive right in. So what is TikTok? We're going to talk about a couple things today. We're going to talk about how to sign up for a TikTok account. We're going to talk about how to navigate the app. So it is an app that you get on your smartphone or your tablet. We're going to talk about the feeds and what they all are. So there's two things called the following feed and the For You feed. We'll talk about both of those. We'll also talk about what is called the Discover page. So that's sort of a page where you can kind of browse what the stuff on TikTok is or do a search. We'll also talk about the inbox and the Me page, which is sort of like a profile page. Then we'll talk about how to create TikTok, or not create TikTok, create with TikTok. If you created TikTok, you'd probably be very rich right now. But recording and editing tools, we'll cover those. We'll also cover some of the stuff you probably heard about if you've learned a little bit about TikTok. So you may have heard about TikTok challenges. There are things also called duets and stitches in TikTok, and hashtags as well. So hashtags kind of go across more than just TikTok, right? So you've probably heard of a hashtag when we talk about Instagram or when we talk about Twitter or even Facebook. We'll talk about those with TikTok as well. Then we'll also talk about some settings because, of course, if you're on TikTok, you're probably going to want to change some settings. We're going to cover privacy and safety settings as well as notification settings. Then we're also going to talk about some additional resources if you want to learn a little more about TikTok. And then, of course, at the end, we'll cover what's coming up in September. So let's dive right in. Again, while I'm doing this, this handout, we are going to send this handout later in the workshop as well as through an email. So you're going to get all this information later. And then, of course, if you have questions throughout, please feel free to interrupt. I'm happy to show something again because I will be demonstrating TikTok on an iPad today. But let's go ahead and just talk about some of the general TikTok stuff. So what is TikTok? Kind of complicated, but TikTok is a short form video sharing app that allows users, so you could sign up for a TikTok and basically you could create and share short videos on any topic. Now, if you're on TikTok, you don't have to create a video. You could just kind of go and browse what's on the actual app. I do that. I have a TikTok account, but I don't have any videos. Plenty of people do that. And TikTok also offers a wide selection of sounds and song snippets, along with the option to add text, special effects, or filters to sort of customize the way your videos look. The company promotes the app as a video sharing social network. So it's sort of like in the video equivalent of something like Instagram. It's going to be a way that people kind of network and connect through video. So again, like I was saying before, you can get it on a smartphone or tablet through your app store. So you'll probably want to go through your app store if you're on an Apple device or your Google Play Store if you're on an Android device. You probably can also get it for a Google device. Same thing, you'd go through the Google Play Store, Windows devices as well, like if you have a Windows tablet. You can, I think, log into TikTok on a desktop computer. I'll double check this, but of course your features are not going to be anywhere near what they would be if you were on a device like a phone or a tablet. So again, TikTok is based around music and video, but a lot of people create stuff that's based around a lot of things. You probably have seen, if you're slightly familiar with TikTok, you've probably seen a lot of singing and dancing videos, right? Because it is based around music, but there is tons of stuff out there on TikTok. I have seen videos on cooking, on art, on education, social issues, politics. There are TikToks that talk about news stories. Of course, there's going to be internet trends, right? Because it is the internet, so you're going to see some memes and some humor on there. You also might see some stuff with animals, with travel. There's just so much out there, really, not just singing and dancing and music.
You're saying it's another venue for cat videos.
It really, really is. And we'll probably see some today. Yeah, cat videos are like a staple of the internet. So there's no way that TikTok could avoid them. And TikTok videos are short form, right? So they're going to go anywhere from 15 seconds, a really short video, and it's going to go all the way up to 3 minutes. So as you're scrolling through TikTok, you might see some really short videos, but you might also see some 3-minute long videos and anywhere in between, really. All right. So what should you consider when you're on TikTok? What should you keep in mind while using TikTok? So of course, TikTok is connected to the internet, so keep that in mind. TikTok does not censor any music. It does not censor swearing or language. unless that video is reported by other users or censored by the creator themselves. So again, it's kind of a free rein as far as the creators are doing. So they may have swear words, they may have suggestive language in there. That's all to do with who is on there and who's creating that content. So keep that in mind when you're on there. You might hear swearing or, you know, suggestive language or music. But keep in mind that TikTok is not all just that. So there are plenty of places on TikTok that you'll get into that have nothing to do with any of those things. And again, as with the internet, don't be so quick to believe everything you see, hear, or read, right? There's all sorts of corners of the internet that might have misinformation or stuff that maybe you should not so quickly judge. So think about what you're seeing on TikTok, basically. So also consider that you may stray into some political territory. So you might venture into a political bubble, again, of misinformation or politicized content. Again, it's the internet, so pretty much anybody can post on there about anything. Again, it's not going to be everything that's out there, but just keep that in mind. You may see some of that stuff while you're on TikTok. TikTok also has ads, and you may see them as you're scrolling through. So they on the videos, you'll see it will say sponsored. That means it's an ad. Now that's how they pay for or that's how they make money, right? So a lot of sites and a lot of social media platforms will have ads in it, including TikTok. There is a restricted mode with TikTok, which kind of lets you how to control how the app is used. So it's sort of similar to parental controls. So if you have like a younger person in your life that's on TikTok, they have access to those restricted modes. So if maybe your daughter's on TikTok or your grandson or something, you can get into those restricted modes to make sure that you're kind of filtering some of that content out. Any questions so far?
I have one for you already right off the bat.
Yes.
Is 3 minutes the cap? So it will cut you off at that point?
Yes, I believe it will. There are talks about going all the way up to 5 minutes. I think they're going towards that, but they're not there yet. But yes, 3 minutes is that top cap for the content on TikTok.
Great, thank you.
Yes. So you can do a lot of stuff in 3 minutes.
With 3 minutes, yeah. Any other questions so far? Keep in mind, you can either post your question in chat by typing it out, or you can let me know by raising your hand, and then we can unmute you.
Yes.
Someone says that they're not sure they have the attention span for more than a 3-minute video.
You'd be surprised. Some of the videos are actually, like I was saying before, there's more than just singing and dancing. So some of the videos I've seen on there are like really cool. Like sometimes I see videos of like experts in certain fields talking about certain things, maybe like architecture or art history even, and they talk about one subject for like 3 minutes, and it's kind of really engaging, actually.
Yeah,
I kind of like that little corner of TikTok.
Yeah, it's almost like within the library field where we are, they have these things called, it's sort of an unconference mentality, but it's like lightning topics.
Yes, or like elevator speeches or whatever.
Exactly, yeah, where they cover everything kind of quickly.
Okay, I'll go ahead and get started. Of course, if you have questions, put them in the chat or raise your hand. So to sign up for a TikTok, of course, you'll want to make sure you've downloaded the TikTok app. And when you get into the app, you'll tap on sign up to create your account. So TikTok is going to require you to enter your date of birth, and that's going to just be for security and privacy reasons. I think they're trying to make sure that, you know, they're restricting a lot of minors from being exposed to some stuff that's out there. The app will ask you to create a unique username and password, like with most social media networks, like Instagram, for instance, will have you create a username and password. You can sign up by using a phone or email. You can also continue with, like on the screen here, it says continue with Facebook, continue with Apple. So that would mean that you can sign up with those credentials. Usually I recommend people sign up with their phone or email just because it's easier, and that way you're not connected to those other sites. I just think it's a better way to sign up for something. It's easier to remember that info. I have another question slide here, but I can just go ahead and jump into TikTok. Let me switch my camera and stop sharing here. Okay, let me get that looking better. All right, so of course I am demonstrating this on an iPad, which is an Apple device, but you could get this on an Android device if you so wished. But our TikTok app is on our front screen here. It's this app right here. It kind of looks like a music note. TikTok did kind of spawn off of another app. I think it's called Musical.ly, and there was another one that it spawned off of, and it created its own TikTok app, which is now like the major one for like music and video. But our TikTok app is right there. Of course, if you have an Apple device, you'll go to your App Store to download that. If you're on an Android device, you'll go to your Google Play Store. And then, of course, just to open the app, you're going to tap on that TikTok icon, and then you're going to jump right into your content. So right now, we're on our home. Let me see if I can point to that. We're on our home screen here. We're going to talk about all these buttons here, but you're going to start seeing content right away. So we're seeing this content looks like from Calgary Library. Let's talk about the feeds, because that's what we're going to start on right when we get into the app. We're on our For You feed currently. And then what is a For You feed? So that is basically TikTok has an algorithm that generates a stream of videos that it has decided that you would enjoy. So that kind of sounds strange, right? Basically, what happens is as you use the app and every interaction that you make, whether that's looking for new content, liking content, following people, commenting, it's going to slowly cater the For You feed to what you would like to see. And TikTok has a little blurb that they've written on their site that says, every new interaction helps the system learn about your interests and suggest content. So the best way to curate the For You feed is to simply use and enjoy the app. Over time, your For You feed should increasingly be able to surface recommendations that are relevant to your interests. So, of course, we are a library and we love libraries. So our For You feed has automatically keyed up a library video. You'll also notice at the top there is a following feed. So the following feed is going to feature content from users that you decide to follow. So that means that you want to see their videos, you might follow them, and we'll talk about how to follow somebody. But those will just generate the videos. If we click on following up here, that's just going to generate videos that are from all of those people you follow. So the For You feed could be from anybody on TikTok, but the following feed is just going to be from the users that you follow. So let's go back to the For You feed. So again, just to switch between the feeds, you're just going to tap on the top. It looks like both of them are from Calgary Library. So let's swipe up. So we also follow Versailles. Chateau Versailles has an account that you can follow. I recommend it. It's kind of fun. They do a lot of cool things on there. They show you some restoration. They show you architecture, art. It's really cool. Let's go back to the For You feed. So again, I just tapped it. I can switch back and forth if I want to. Now, how do I advance in the feed? How do I see more videos? It's really simple. To see more videos, you're just going to swipe up. So I'm just going to swipe up. Oh, looks like I got a dog video. And again, if I were to interact with videos like this or watch it for a longer time, TikTok is going to slowly find out, maybe I want to see more dog videos, and they'll put more of those in my For You feed, excuse me. So I could keep going if I wanted to. Again, I'm just going to swipe up. If I wanted to go back to a video, I could swipe down. So here I'm back at my bear video, I'm back at my dog video, back at the library. So just kind of up and down. Again, you don't have to watch the whole video. You can just swipe up whenever you want to. And it looks like this is a sponsored video, just because down in the bottom here, you'll see it says sponsored, very bottom left there.
Can you point that out to us with a pen or something?
Yes, let me try to brighten it up a little bit. It's hard because it's going the brightness of the screen, but also
Also a moving video.
right. So you'll see on the left here, my pen, bottom left corner, it says
Okay.
sponsored.
Perfect. Thank you.
It's very small, but I mean, you'll kind of figure out what's an ad and what's not as you're going through. Let me turn my brightness back down a little bit. So yeah, there are a lot of gestures when you're doing TikTok. We'll talk about gestures later as well. So again, that would be like me swiping up, swiping down, tapping things. We'll talk about that as well. So let's talk about what is all on the screen here that we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of icons, right? So of course we're seeing our main video, but on the left side here, or on the right side, excuse me, we're also seeing a couple of icons. So I see, it looks like a picture with a plus sign. It's kind of hard to show this. I wish I had a little light at the end of this. Picture with a plus sign. So that is the actual profile picture of the user whose video you're watching. And that plus sign is just a way for you to be able to follow that person. So if I wanted to follow this account and see more videos from them, and that would again go into my following feed, I could tap on that plus button and then I would be following them. It would turn into a check mark. I have a heart here. So if I liked the video, I could tap on that heart and it would like the video. I could also double tap on the video and that would like it. See how that heart comes up? I'm just doing tap, tap, and it's liking it. Right below the heart, you'll see a comment, sort of comment bubble. That's where I can actually get in and see the comments on the video and make a comment of my own. So again, keep in mind, if you're going into the comments, there might be swear words, there might be a language. So keep that in mind when you're on here. But I could scroll through the comments. I can add a comment of my own down here if I wanted to. And then at the very bottom, it's kind of hard to see. Let me make it a little bit brighter here. Let me make it bright on the actual device here. So there's what kind of looks like a spinning record. Let me see if I can make it a little brighter. It's kind of hard to see. There we go. Right at the bottom right, there's what looks like a spinning record. So TikTok, right, it's based around music. You can't hear it now because I don't have the volume up, but usually over all of TikTok's videos, there is some sort of music, like either a clip or something that somebody has created that's going over the video to kind of just add to the video. So if you have a spinning record here, that is showing you what the track is. If I were to tap on that, it's going to show me other videos that have that same track associated with it. So it looks like this is an original track that this person has created, and they have a couple other videos that feature the same music or sound. So a lot of TikTok has to do with music and sound. Keep that in mind. Now, of course, you can watch it without sound, you can mute it, but a lot of it's based around music and sound. You'll also notice on the left side, near the bottom, there's a couple of things as well. Let me go back up to the puppy one. It's a little easier to see. So the first sort of line on the bottom left here, that is the username of the profile you're watching. You have their profile image up here, of course, on the top right, but you also have their username. So their username is my Aussie gal, because I think that's an Australian Shepherd puppy, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, if you were to click on that username, it's going to bring you to their profile. So I just tapped on that name and now I can see their profile. Let me lower the light a little bit. So from here, I could choose to follow them, or I could see the other videos that they've posted. And if I wanted to watch one, I could tap on it and it would show me their video that I just tapped on. Let me go back. So that's the username. So again, that's something that you would create when you're signing up for TikTok. Right under the username is a description for the video or a caption. So this is something, again, that the user is creating once they're creating a video. They can type whatever they want in down here. And of course, it's going to change depending on who's got the account and who's writing in there, basically, of course. So it looks like Calgary Library has written a little blurb here about their staff is eager to help. And you'll also notice some hashtags behind there. So hashtags, again, are a way that users can connect on these social media sites. So a lot of people put hashtags in there to get people to view their video or to show up on a list. So library talk is a pretty popular hashtag for libraries that are on TikTok. If I tap on a hashtag, that's going to take me to a page with all the other hashtags, or I'm sorry, all the other videos with that same hashtag. And you could add that to your favorites. We'll talk more about what favorites are. But then I could go here if I wanted to maybe look at some other library talk videos. Looks like there's one on Libby. Oh, that's exciting. And then you'll also notice at the bottom left here, there is sort of a running text here. This is going to be, once again, to do with the music that is on the video. So it looks like they have a Pokemon music for Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. This is just the description of that sound or music clip. I'm sorry, I think it's the name, not the description. If I were to tap on that, that's going to show me more videos that have that same music clip in it. Again, just like if I were to tap on that spinning record on the right side, it's the same thing. It's just telling me what the name of the track is. So you'll kind of see some overlap there on either side. Let me see if I can find an account that has a blue check mark next to it. Let's see. Oh, there's a pig. Let's see. Here we go. So this one here has a little blue check mark. Let me see if I can bring that up there. It's kind of hard to see sometimes with this because the video flashes, but that username has a little blue check mark next to that. So what does that blue check mark mean? Let me refocus that. Oop. So that blue check mark is a verified badge. So a verified badge means that TikTok has confirmed that the account belongs to the user that it represents. So especially with people that are famous or maybe like corporations or brand pages, they'll have those verified badges because that's going to make sure that you know that that's them and not an account that might be posing as them. So if you see that blue badge, that's basically TikTok's way to let you know that that's authentic, and it's helping you kind of, you know, differentiate accounts that may not be who they say they are, if that makes sense. You might have also seen the blue check with Twitter or Instagram. That's a pretty common thing now on social media, especially because a lot of people out there want to create fake accounts and try to pose as other people. So let's go back to the top. Oh, we found our cat video.
Yay.
I just clicked on that home button. That's kind of going to bring you to a refreshed page. You can also swipe down from the very beginning and it will refresh your feed. So see where it says there, it says drag down to refresh. So that's just me refreshing the feed. I don't refresh the feed too often. If I don't like what I'm seeing, I'll kind of just keep scrolling. Again, because when you're scrolling and you're interacting with stuff, that's going to help you build what your interests are on TikTok. And that's going to help you build what you like to see, if that makes sense. So if I am scrolling fast through stuff I don't like to see and staying longer on like a dog video or a cat video, I might start to see more animal videos or stuff like that. Let's talk about gestures. So I slightly touched on how to swipe up and down, but let's talk about more. So again, swiping up will help you advance in your feed. So that will go to the next video. If I wanted to go back, I could swipe down. So I'm just swiping down here. So that's the video we watched earlier. If I wanted to see the profile of the user who is whose video I'm currently watching, again, I can either tap on their profile picture or their profile name down here, their username, or I can swipe left. So let's swipe left. There we go. So now I've gotten to the user account for this video, and then I could follow them if I wanted to. Let's go ahead and follow them. So I've followed them. Now they're going to show up on my following feed. Let me brighten this up a little bit. If I want to go back, I can just hit that little arrow here and that will bring me back to my my For You feed. We talked about liking, just a double tap. If I wanted to like that video, I could double tap it. You can also kind of cater some of the stuff that you're seeing by long pressing. So if I'm on my For You feed and I see something that's coming up that I'm not really interested in, I could long press. So that's just me tapping and holding. And then this menu is going to come up here. So here I could do a couple things. I could either save the video.
Hey, Rebecca, can you darken that just for a second so we can see it stand out just a little bit more?
Yeah, is that better?
Maybe focus if you can. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, that's better at least.
Okay. So let me show that again. Basically what I did was I tapped and hold. I was tapping and holding. And now this menu has come up where I can do a couple things. I can save the video. I can add it to my favorites. We're going to talk about this in a second too. I can report the video. So if I maybe see something that's really offensive or, you know, I don't know, violent or, you know, something that you might want to report, you could hit that report button and then TikTok will take a look at it and maybe they'll take the video down. You can also tap on this, what's called not interested button here. That will help you cater some of your For You feed and change the algorithm just a little bit. So that will kind of tell TikTok, you know, I'm not interested in seeing that kind of content. So then it will hopefully cater that to your next. Let me do that again. If I do not interested and I tap on that, that's going to try to have it not show up with that kind of content as I scroll on. There's also a way you can send stuff to your friends from this. So if you have friends on TikTok, you can send them videos by long pressing. There's also a more button where I can hide videos that are from this particular user, or I can hide videos that use the sound that the user is using. So certain sounds on TikTok are kind of annoying maybe to you and you don't want to hear them as you scroll through your feed. Now we can't really hear them now, but you'll notice as you go through that there are certain sounds that you may not want to hear. You can just hit that more and then hide videos with that sound. I've done that before because there are some sounds out there that I do not like hearing.
Like sound of nails on a chalkboard or something.
Well, some of the songs that they have on there are just like, I don't really like to hear that song over and over again. So I just kind of turn that off so I don't hear those videos anymore.
Fair enough.
All right. Any questions so far as we're going through gestures or the feeds?
No questions so far. Again, feel free to put them in chat if you have any.
Yes.
Or raise your hand.
Let me go back to a puppy video here. All right, so that was the feeds. So that was all from our home page down here at the bottom left. Let me see if I can make that a little bit easier to see. Home page down here at the bottom left. I was at home, but there are a couple of other sort of buttons we can navigate with. So we have a discover. It's kind of hard to see, but we have a discover button, which will get us to our discover page. We'll talk about all these. A plus button, which is going to help us actually create on TikTok. So maybe you're ready to post a video or create something. You can hit that plus button. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. The inbox button will help you see some of the maybe messages you're getting on TikTok or the notifications that you're getting. The me page here is where you're going to be able to visit your profile. So that's your personal profile that you have on TikTok where you can get in and edit stuff. You can see some of your favorite videos, some of your saved stuff, and see what you have personally posted on your page. Let's talk about the discover page first, because that's kind of another way you can browse on TikTok without actually going through all of your feeds. So let's click on discover. That's going to take us to a page where we can kind of see what's trending. So you're going to see some stuff up here that's scrolling through at the very top. So you'll see some trending hashtags. You'll also see some hashtags down here as we scroll through like this. So it looks like there's an art talk hashtag. So it looks like people are doing some art stuff on TikTok and they're kind of gathering that in one place you can kind of browse. So I can kind of scroll through there. Let me go back. I can tap on art talk as well and see some of the stuff that's going on that hashtag. It should be loading. Come on. There we go. So that's kind of all the videos that have that tag art talk. Let me go back. You can also do a search on this page, which is kind of useful. So if you're looking for someone specific that you maybe know on TikTok, or maybe you're looking for like a celebrity or a brand, a nonprofit even, a library, you could search them with the search, or you can search hashtags, you can search subjects, pretty much anything you can search. So let's make a search. Does anybody have any suggestions? It looks like we've already done a couple of searches, but I'm happy to do one if someone has a suggestion.
If you have a suggestion, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. Nothing yet.
If not, I can always do one.
Let's see. How about recipes?
Okay, let's try recipes. So I
Like
can just
specifically food.
Yes. So you'll notice as I'm typing, I'm seeing some stuff come up. So this is, again, kind of a way that TikTok is trying to point you into a direction you may want to go. But let's put in recipes. So it looks like there are a couple of different things here. I can either tap on one of these, or I can just hit that search button and search. And then it's going to bring up a page of results here. So you'll notice at the top, let me make this a little darker here so you can see that top. So up here at the top, you'll notice some things that'll help you filter your results. So right now we're on top, which is our top results. So these may be videos that are getting a lot of interactions or likes or from top users. If you click on users, that's going to show you users that may have recipes in their name. Maybe they're specific TikToks for recipes, like this one that's just called recipes. You'll also see, I see a 5-minute recipes, tasty, healthy recipes. So these are users that are on TikTok that you can follow. If I click on videos, that's just going to be some more videos. These might not necessarily be the top videos. So they may not have like millions of views. They may have like 4 views, but they'll show up here on videos. I kind of have to put my finger on this bright and dark pretty often because it just switches around so much. I have a sounds tab as well right next to videos. So sounds is where maybe you're looking up a sound for a video that you want, or a sound that you want to see what other videos are using. So it looks like there's a couple songs that have recipes as their title. So maybe I was looking for a specific song, maybe Moonlight Sonata. I could look up that sound. And then if I wanted to see TikToks that use that sound, I could tap on it. And then it will show me TikToks that are using Moonlight Sonata from Beethoven.
I'm guessing that they really do not care about copyright necessarily.
I don't think they do. I think TikTok, I think they get around it because they're only sampling it. They're not playing the entire song. And I know with a lot of stuff on TikTok, it's actually user created. So a lot of the stuff that's out there may be something that was created by a TikTok user or sourced by a TikTok user that is not necessarily copyrighted in the first place.
Okay.
You'll also be able to search hashtags. Let's go back to recipes and look at hashtags. So again, that's going to show me hashtags. And these I could click through to see hashtags that people are applying to their videos. So maybe I wanted to look at Indian recipes for Indian food, or keto recipes, summer recipes. I could tap on that hashtag, and then it's going to show me videos that people have tagged with summer recipes in their video. Now, you might not necessarily see a video here that makes any sense with that hashtag. A lot of people sort of use hashtags to kind of get their videos seen. So this one here, it looks like it says mom versus dad. So that doesn't look like a recipe video to me. Sometimes people just use those trending hashtags, or they just put them in their description to show up on these pages so they get more likes, they get seen, and then they start showing up on other people's feeds more. So keep that in mind, that even if you type in recipes, you may not see just recipes, or, you know, whatever else you're searching for. Let me do a search for travel. And then you'll notice at the top right corner next to your search bar, there's kind of a little button here that kind of has looks like sliders. If I tap on that, that's going to let you give feedback to TikTok about the results that you're seeing. So if you don't like what's showing up, you can click on that and give them feedback, and they can hopefully cater the next search you do better. I like the travel TikToks a lot. They make me want to go places. Like, some stuff you just see is just like someone taking you through their town, showing you the best places to go. You know, maybe you're going on a trip to the UK or to France or something, and you want to check out what's going on. You could always search a hashtag and kind of do a little exploring that way. So maybe you're going to Paris or something, and you wanted to search for Paris. You could do top. So this one looks like let's visit Paris, things I wish I knew before I lived in Paris. You'll see a lot of kind of videos like that. So I recommend kind of browsing around using that search function, or even just kind of exploring the hashtags that are out there. They're a lot of fun to look through. Any questions about the Discover page?
No questions so far.
Okay. Let's talk about the Me page next. So the Me page is on the bottom right corner. Let me get my pen. Bottom right corner. That's going to be, again, your profile page. So if I click on that, that's going to take me to my profile page, where I can see a couple things. I see the ability to edit my profile. So that would be, I can change my profile picture. I can change my little description here. I can see how many people are following me. It looks like I have 0 followers, but I am following 7 people. I also have 0 likes, so no one's liking my stuff because I don't have anything posted. Anything you have posted will be on this tab here. So right now I'm on this very far left tab. That's going to show me all the videos that I've created. So if I have anything that I've posted on TikTok, they would show up on this tab. So for instance, maybe we were on, let's search for somebody on, I used Gordon Ramsay as my example. I don't know why, he was the first person that popped up for me, because he's on TikTok sometimes.
It's well with recipes anyway, so.
Yes, that's true. So you'll see Gordon Ramsay's profile. If I'm on that same tab, you'll see all of his videos that he's posted here on TikTok. So that's on that very left tab. It kind of looks like lines that are kind of separated in the middle.
So by nature, everything on TikTok is public, correct?
You can make your profile private. We'll talk about that. But yes, when you start off and you sign up, everything you post is public unless you make your profile private.
Okay.
Okay, let me go back to our profile. So again, ours is blank because we don't have anything. The middle icon here, it looks like a heart with a little like oval with a slash through it. But that's all the videos that we've liked. Let me turn that down just a little bit. So all of these videos here are videos that we've liked on TikTok. So again, that was us hitting that little heart or double tapping the video. So that's going to show up here. I also have a little lock as the very right tab here. Let me click on that. That's going to show private videos. Sorry, bear with me as I switch between these brightness settings. So these are private videos. Now, again, like I was saying before, you can set your profile to private, and you can make videos that are only for yourself. So some people may have a profile and they have it public, but they have private videos that they don't want to share publicly. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But yes, there is a way to create private videos. You'll also notice that, of course, there's that edit profile button, but there is a little button at the very right of that kind of looks like a bookmark. If you're familiar with Instagram, there also is a button like this on Instagram that is used for saving posts. So if you're seeing something on TikTok that you want to maybe save, maybe you saw a recipe that you liked or a travel tip or something like that that you wanted to save for future reference, you can save that video or favorite it. I think TikTok refers to it as favoriting. Then those would show up here. So if I click on that, that's going to be our favorite videos. You can also favorite hashtags, favorite sounds, effects, or products. So let me show how to do that favorite. We talked about it before, but let me show. So if I wanted to favorite this video and save it, I could long press, and then you'll see it says up here, add to favorites. I'm going to tap on that. Now it's added to my favorites. If I go to my profile, now you'll see it's in my favorite videos here. So I use the favorites function quite often if I want to save something that I'm looking back on. TikTok has a lot of videos about cleaning houses and a lot of tech tips even. And sometimes I like to save those because I want to remember or reference that in the future. So I put those in my favorites folder. Any questions about the Me page? Let me go back to the Me page.
No questions so far.
We'll talk about the settings as well, but you can also get into your settings from this very top menu button here. It just looks like 3 horizontal lines. And that will get into our settings. We're going to talk about this later, but that will get into your settings. You can also add friends here on this little icon at the very top left. So maybe I'm looking for somebody that I know on maybe I know they have a TikTok and I want to search for them here. I can do that. Or I can kind of link it to my Facebook and find if my Facebook friends are here, or maybe my contacts from my phone. Maybe they've linked their phone number to TikTok. I can find them that way as well. I don't know what this little carrot icon is. Let me click on that. Okay, it looks like it's a partnership with Feeding America. I think that's sometimes they have some promotional stuff as well. So it looks like they have the nonprofit Feeding America partnering with them for something. Okay.
Does TikTok treat libraries differently than it, or like corporations differently than it would an individual person as far as adding them? You know, like Facebook has groups and pages and then friends.
I don't believe they treat them differently. The only thing I think that is slightly different would be if they have that verified badge. Okay. But I mean, if someone's famous on just TikTok, they may have a verified badge just from being like a regular person instead of like, say, a celebrity or a company.
Sure. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, let's talk about your inbox next, because that's also important for using TikTok. So your inbox is right next to your plus button and your Me page. And click on that. So your inbox is going to be where all of your notifications come in, and you can get into direct messages from here as well. So if you have notifications such as maybe someone has commented on your video, maybe someone is following you, or liked a video, that might show up here, and you can filter that. So if I tap on all activity, I can see just people that have maybe liked my stuff or mentioned me, or maybe they've commented. I want to filter all my comments onto that. I can do that as well. Let me click back on that. There we go. If I wanted to get into my direct messages from here, what I would do is I would tap on this little icon at the top right corner. It kind of looks like a paper airplane. I'm going to tap on that. That's going to be where all my direct messages come in. So that would be a message that someone has sent me privately. Now, again, this is the internet, so keep in mind that not everything is 100% private. You know, people can screenshot stuff, people can show stuff to people on their device, you know. Keep in mind that this might not always be 100% between you and the other person. So yeah, that's how you get into direct messages. Any questions about the inbox?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. So let's talk about creating with TikTok. So if you want to create a video on TikTok, you're going to click on that plus button from the bottom of your screen. And it's going to bring you to another page. It's going to be hard for me to adjust this, but let me see if I can get it adjusted here. It's a black screen right now because I have the iPad on the black desk. But basically what happens when you hit that plus, it's going to open up your camera on your device. Let me see if I can make that even lower here. Let me see if I can lower that. Let me turn off this light and see what happens. Come on. Sorry, bear with me. There we go. Okay, let me see if I can get it from there.
If you focus it a little bit more on the individual sections too.
Maybe I'll just pull
There
up
you
my
go.
slide and show the slide because the slide's got everything on
Yeah,
it.
that might be better.
Let me do that. Are you seeing the PowerPoint?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, let me get to that slide here.
Okay.
Of course, it's going to do this weird thing where it doesn't let me go to the actual slide. Sorry, bear with me. Come on. And of course, I've written all of the steps that I've done in our handout. Okay. So creating with TikTok. So this is that screen that you're going to see when you're in that create page. So again, you're going to tap on that plus button and you're going to see some stuff that will allow you to customize your video, add effects, et cetera, et cetera. So at the right side of your screen, you're going to see some icons. I've written down what they all do, but you're going to have your flip icon, which is going to let you change your camera direction. So most phones or devices now have that selfie camera where you can flip it so that it's showing your face. Or of course you can flip it out so that you're facing it's facing the other direction towards whatever your subject is. Then you're going to have a speed icon as well. So that's going to let you change the speed of your recording. So you can go slow motion, you can speed your video up. Your beauty button is going to let you add a filter. So you may be able to smooth out your skin, hide blemishes. You also have a filter button, which will let you change the filter color, or like if you've heard of Instagram or mostly most of the newer phones and stuff will let you put a filter on your pictures. So that's sort of a pre-made sort of color that you can put over the original color of whatever you're seeing on your camera. So maybe you want a black and white filter, or maybe you want it to be sepia. You can do that with your filter button. You'll also see a timer button, so that will let you kind of set a countdown. Most cameras have a timer button as well. Flash button, of course, will let you toggle on your camera's flash or off if you don't want it on. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see that big red button. So that's what you're going to press when you're ready to record. You can record, again, videos from 15 seconds all the way up to 3 minutes long. You'll also have buttons on the right and left. So you'll have an effects button, which will allow you to add different effects to your video. You'll also be able to upload you from your device. So maybe you already have a video that you've pre-recorded or a picture you wanted to add to your video. you can click that upload button. You can also click add sound. Let me see if that's showing up here. Yes. So that would be at the very top. So again, TikTok is based all around music and sound, right? So if you click add sound, that will let you go in and search for a sound that you can add to your video. You'll also see at the bottom right underneath that red button, the different times. So it has 15 seconds, 60 seconds. There will probably also be a 3-minute option. I think this was an older screenshot, but I think now it has a 3-minute button there. And you'll see templates as well. Templates will kind of let you select a template that TikTok has pre-created that you can kind of plug stuff into. Again, these are more things that will allow you to sort of customize your video and make it the way you want it to make it. There's a million different things you can do with creating. Let me go to the next slide here. Come on, there we go. So after you've done all that, what you would do is you would come up to this screen here, which will let you add even more effects. So after you're recording, you can add stuff on as well. So maybe you wanted to add text, sounds, more sounds, voiceovers. There's really so much you can do. A lot of TikToks also have captions, which is really nice, I've noticed. I am a lover of captions, so TikTok has done me well with what they do with their captions. And again, you can always, you know, do whatever you want. So if you don't want captions, you don't have to do that. If you don't want stickers, if you don't want text, again, it's all up to you. It's all about creating what you want. Once you've done all of that, you can tap on that next button, and then it's going to allow you to do even more. It's going to allow you to add a caption to your video where you can add hashtags like we were talking about before. You can tag people, and you can do a couple of other things as well. So you can decide who is able to watch the video. So this is where you can make your video private or keep it public. You can toggle on or off comments. So if you wanted to maybe make sure that no one was commenting on your video, you could turn that off. Or maybe you like comments, you could keep it on. You'll also see these things said that say allow duet and allow stitch. We're going to talk about what those are in a second, but that basically kind of allows other users to sort of sample your content. A lot of TikTok is kind of sampling content, going off of somebody else's idea, creating your own idea off of that. It's kind of fun to watch what other people do. You'll see that more when we go through what duet and stitching is. But yeah, basically what you can do here is just basically finish up your video and get it ready to post, which is where you would go and click that post button. You can also add it to your drafts if you're not quite ready to post it, but you're almost, maybe you're finished and you want to think about it a little bit before you post it. Any questions about creating? I won't actually create anything today. I've never actually created anything with TikTok. I'm just a sort of passive user, but tons of people create on TikTok, obviously.
No questions at the moment. And again, if you'd like, just raise your hand and we can also unmute you so you can ask your questions out loud if you have them.
Yes. Okay, so let me get into what is duetting and what is stitching. So let me stop my share and then switch my video. Okay, let me see if I can brighten this up just slightly. And I'm going to focus it. So we talked about Gordon Ramsay a little bit earlier. I use him as an example because he does a lot of duets. So what is a duet? A duet will allow you to build on another user's video by recording your own video alongside it as the original plays. So it's sort of a split screen. So you'll notice Gordon Ramsay there on the left and then another video on the right. So a lot of people use duetting as sort of a reaction type of video. So it allows people to build on existing stories and create their own new content based around that. So for instance, Gordon Ramsay uses them a lot to react. Gordon Ramsay's really famous for his beef Wellington, right? So he's doing this duet as a reaction to somebody else making a beef Wellington. So he does a lot of videos like this where he'll see some random food video on TikTok and sort of give his own take on it. So it looks like this one, he's reacting to this video of some person pouring hot lava on a hot dog. So he's, you can't hear him right now, but you know, Gordon Ramsay's typically like, you know, he swears a lot. So keep that in mind when you're watching Gordon Ramsay. So duet, also, you'll notice on his description down here under his name, it says hashtag duet. It's kind of hard to see my pen here, but it says hashtag duet, and then it says with, and then it gives the username of the person that he's duetting. Let me kind of pull this up a little bit closer here so you can see it. So you'll see it says hashtag duet, and then it says with Mr. Forge. So that's the original user that he's duetting with. So if I were to click on that person's name in his description, let me click on it. What it's going to do is it's going to bring me to the original video that he's duetting. So then I could see the original video if I wanted to. So you'll see duetting quite often on TikTok. I'd say that's a pretty common thing that you'll see. And of course, you'll be able to tell it to duet because it will be the split screen and you'll see that hashtag in the description. There's also something called stitching. So let me see if I can find, well, I think we can actually search for a stitch here because it is a hashtag. So let's search for stitch. Let's see if we can find one that's not silly.
Hopefully we're not getting people with stitches.
I see a chiropractor one.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Gordon Ramsay and see if we can find one of his. It's sort of hard to tell because it's not as obvious as the duet. So a stitch is something where you basically kind of take a clip of their video, and instead of it being a split screen, it's kind of just a clip that's within your video. So let me see if I can find one.
So it's more like what you said, like sampling.
Right, exactly. Let me see. It took me a while to find an example for one earlier because it's not as obvious. See, look, he has tons of stitches or duets here with the split screen. I think this one's a stitch. Yes. So you'll see it looks like he's reacting to this video of someone who's trying to bake. So you notice that that very beginning of the video was the person he's stitching. So that's not him. That's the person he's stitching. And that's his reaction to it here. So you'll see, again, similar to duet, it's going to have a hashtag stitch, and then it's going to say the user video or the username of the person whose video he's stitching. So it's sort of similar to duet. You're sampling to maybe react to it or make it part of your video. So again, it's just a way for you to maybe reinterpret what the other user's doing, sort of building on their stories. So I know I've seen stitches before of people, maybe they're building on a history lesson or they're talking about a tech tip and they want to put in their own 2 cents on it. They'll use a stitch and kind of build on that. You'll see that quite often as you're going through your feed. Any questions so far about duetting or about stitching?
No questions so far, but thanks for sharing. I didn't know that that was a thing.
Yes, it's pretty common. I find pretty common. I should also say, like we were talking before when we did the creating part about how you can make your videos kind of more private. You can also decide if you want people to be able to duet your video or to be able to stitch your video. So you can decide whether you want someone to do that or not. So this person clearly had the duet thing enabled so that Gordon Ramsay was able to do it. If you don't have it on, then no one else can potentially duet with your video or stitch your video with their own content, if that makes sense. All right. If no questions so far, I'll go on to challenges and hashtags. We talked about them briefly, but we'll talk a little bit more about them. So I'm on my Discover page, and this is where you'll mainly find a lot of the challenges. Challenges are mostly centered around a hashtag. So let's see if there's anything on here that's a challenge. Usually a challenge is something that somebody will do, and then a lot of other users will take on that challenge. Let me see if I can find anything that seems like an obvious challenge to me. So it looks like there's an organizing hashtag. So maybe someone has put out a challenge of organizing their closet or their fridge. That might show up in on the Discover page as a challenge. So I remember one challenge I saw where somebody made a TikTok of like a picture of their younger self that morphed into a picture of their older self. And a lot of people would do that same thing. So I think this younger self one may be that one. It looks like they're doing a challenge of talking to their younger self, maybe. So it looks like this person is sort of doing a younger self challenge. And this person is doing the same sort of challenge. So you'll see some of this sort of similar stuff because maybe people are doing challenges. So you're seeing a lot of people. It's sort of trending, like there are things that sweep through the internet as trends, right? So you may see something maybe in a week that might be different from what you're seeing today just because the internet is constantly changing. So these challenges are kind of a way, a trendy kind of way of creating community on TikTok and sort of networking and connecting. That's basically what these sites are, right? They're all a way to connect to other people online, and these challenges kind of fuel that connection, if that makes sense. And it might change even day to day too. So even if you visit this Discover page tomorrow, it may look different than it will today. And you may have different challenges that pop up as well. A lot of the challenges are based on stuff that's really popular. So you might have a lot of likes, and that's spurring other people to do the challenges because they want a lot of likes, right? So you might see a lot of different videos of that same challenge. Let's also talk about hashtags a little more. So again, you can get into your hashtags from your Discover page, from your feed. You'll see hashtags in your description here. So hashtag teacher life, it looks like. And again, if I wanted to see more of that hashtag, I could tap on it. So I'm tapping on teacher life to see a little more. And again, it's sort of similar to challenges, right? You're making more of a connection with other people if you're putting hashtags in your videos so that other people can see your videos, et cetera, et cetera. It's all about connection. When you're doing a hashtag though, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're typing that hashtag icon and then your words without a space. So if you put a space in that, it's not gonna be a hashtag. It's just gonna be like your description normally. Any questions on hashtags or challenges?
I don't see any in the chat.
I hope this is all making sense. With these social media sites, there's really just so much out there.
Yeah, it's just a tour. It's a tour.
Yeah, it's a tour. Okay, let's talk about settings. So we talked about settings with the Me page. Let's go back to our Me page. I like this video. I've seen this guy before. It's a little axolotl and he draws little things on him.
Aww.
We're just gonna take a little tour of this guy. Someone drew a little Spider-Man.
So you must be holding him up to like a glass or something. Yeah.
He's like in his tank or something.
Yeah. Glass of his tank.
So you'll see stuff like that on TikTok. But let's go to our Me page and talk about our settings. So to get into our settings again is going to be your three lines here up at the top right corner. For the most part across the internet, if you see those three lines, you may see three dots as well. That's kind of going to be a menu where you'll see more options, or it might be your settings as well. But let's click on that. And then up here, you'll see settings and privacy. Let me brighten this up a little bit. Settings and privacy. So I can get into a couple things from here. I can manage my account. Privacy settings is really useful. Oops, sorry, I bumped that. So this is where I could get in and create, or sorry, not create. I could make my account private. So if I wanted only to be able to approve who could follow me, because when you create an account with TikTok, you're public, right? So anybody can follow you, anybody can watch your videos. But if I've got my account on private, let me tap on that. That's going to make sure that if someone wants to follow me, I have to approve it. So keep in mind also that if you do this after you have your account for a while and you already have people following you, the people that are following you already will still see your content. It'll just be that time where you toggle that on forward.
That's
So keep
very
that
good to
in,
know.
yes. So keep that in mind that those people that were there with you before are sort of grandfathered into your account. So once you do that private account, you may want to go and review who is watching your videos just to make sure that you're okay with those people being able to access your content. You go back here. Actually, you can also get into some safety settings here too. Like for instance, you can change your duet and stitch options like I was saying. You can change who is able to download your stuff, comments. Let's click on that. So again, these are going to be able to be toggled on or off. So maybe you wanted to change it so that only your friends could comment on your videos. I would say if you wanted to learn more about your settings, just go into those menus and click around and see what they all are. It's impossible for me to cover everything today, but you know, with all social media sites, there's just so much customization that's possible. So I'd say just go through all these and check them out if you're concerned with some of that stuff. There's also a way that you can change your notifications. So you can do push notifications. So basically that means it's going to push the notification to your phone. So maybe you got a like or a comment on your video. If you want that to be pushed to your phone as a notification, you could change that here. So that would mean that even if you're not in the app, you're going to get notifications for stuff. So I have it off right now, but if you wanted to turn that on, you would then be bumped out to your notification settings where you can change it if you'd like. So this is on an iPad, but it would probably do the same thing if you were on a Android device. Let me go back here. You can also, of course, change your languages. If you wanted to go dark mode, you could do that. That's pretty trendy now. I love dark mode. And of course, you could get into security and log in as well. So this will let you manage your permissions. So we were talking before about the restrictions that you could add. So maybe you had someone in your family that used your device and they used TikTok. You could get into, actually, that's not this. Let me go back. There is a way you can get into, let me see if I can find it.
Is that like the parental controls?
Yes. I think it is, let me see. Sorry, there is so much stuff on here. Let's see.
Well, we can put that in the follow-up too.
Okay, I think this is it, family pairing. I think if you're under a certain age, you cannot sign up for TikTok, and then you can do this family pairing thing, which is where like a person that's of age could go in and change the settings on your device so that it's gonna, again, limit maybe screen time or content that maybe teens shouldn't be seeing, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I can put more information on that. There is actually a website out there that's kind of like a parental guide for using TikTok. I have that in the handout as well. Let me go back to settings here. Let's see. I think that's all I have covered for settings, unless anybody has a specific question.
No questions at this time, but thank you so much, Rebecca. That's really great. I think it's very important to have everyone kind of take a look at settings, especially because you can customize things in your settings, but also then you have an idea of what you have control over.
Yes, I think a lot of people don't realize that there is a lot of customization possible. Like when people sign up, people may not know that you can create a private profile or, manage your notifications. Some people just sign up and then just leave it, but there is a way to get down to more customized version. All right, I think that covers it pretty much for TikTok, unless somebody wants me to show something again or has another question about just using it in general.
More cat videos. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's go back to our search. I had cats in my search. Let me see if we can.
For those of you who are attending your first or a newer attendee for our tech workshops, we do a lot of examples that involve cats and dogs too, because we like to remain neutral. So we like to do all animal videos, but a lot of them are cat related since Rebecca and I both have cats. So
yes. Shameless cat lover over here.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I could spend hours watching cat videos. Oh.
Yes, we've got some people affirming that they would also spend lots of time watching cat videos
or dog videos. I mean, I love a good dog video as well.
Animal videos in general, yeah. The axolotl is really cute.
Oh, there's tons of different animals all over the internet, not just cats. All right, let me switch my video and go back to our slides here, because I do have that additional resource page. Sorry, this thing. I don't know why it does that. But here is some of the links that I've found online about how to use TikTok. I do have a link from Common Sense Media. They do a lot of stuff with parents' guides. So they have a parent's guide to TikTok. So even if you're not a parent, maybe you're a grandparent, or you have young people in your life that use TikTok and you want to know more, that's a good way to find out what it's all about in terms of, how it interacts with young people and how they interact with it. I like Common Sense Media a lot. I use that for movies sometimes because I don't want to see gory stuff or gross stuff sometimes. I go on there and they tell me what's up with some of the movies I may want to watch.
Yeah.
And then here are the upcoming classes for September. You may have attended a class previously where we said they were in person. We just switched it over to they're going to be virtual. Now the September 7th class, which is getting started with keyboard and mouse, that will be in person, but following that class, they'll all be webinars. And of course, you can get the Zoom link by going on our website as usual.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Yes. It's a very new thing. So last week we said we're in person, and this week we said we're virtual.
Things are changing very often around here. So as they are elsewhere in the world for things like that. So, but yes, and if you want, the content that we're covering in the September 7th workshop is also available as a YouTube video on our YouTube channel. Many of the links that we're going to demo with the mouse and keyboard tutorials, you can access them at your own home too. So when you want to practice using the keyboard or the mouse, we do have resources that we can direct you to if you want to do that on your own too.
Yes, and you can always come and visit us at the library and use a computer.
Yes.
Get used to it.
We do have the Book a Librarian program as well. So you can come in. I think there's a slide for that too, but you can always come in and speak with one of us one-on-one to get some technology help. You can reach out to us via chat or email.
There's the Book a Librarian one.
Or yes, or live chat. We're happy to help. And if we don't know the answer, we'll try to find someone who does.
Yes. That's our main thing.
Yes. So, all right.
Any other questions? I'm also happy to show something again, or if you want to raise your hand, that's cool too. Let me
yes,
stop
absolutely.
sharing.
Yes, we're happy. Yep. If you have any questions, that you want to speak your question out loud, now is a good time. Go ahead and just raise your hand and then I can unmute you so you can ask your questions if you have them, or if you have comments. We've got that it was a very good presentation. I thoroughly enjoyed it, especially because I'm not as familiar with TikTok. So I learned a lot.
Did you learn something?
I did. I learned a lot about TikTok today.
I think the main way for me learning it was just to use the app. So you could go over and over about the theory, but using the app is the most useful way for me, at least, to learn it.
My only real introduction to TikTok is, of course, that, with like the news and everybody saying TikTok, so I've heard of it. And then my husband showed me a bunch of TikTok videos to entertain me while I was putting together furniture late at night, and I needed to finish the project. So I was like, I need something to be going on here at the same time that I'm working here.
It is a time suck, I will say. So when you're using TikTok and you're scrolling through, time is flying. So keep that in mind. Sometimes you can be like sucked into videos and be on it forever. And so sometimes I have to time myself. I'm like, okay, I'm going to only be on TikTok for 20 minutes and then I need to put my phone away.
I think you experienced that with me in the office too, where I was like, all right, I'm going to learn some stuff before we have you present. And I was just sitting there scrolling through videos and I was like, wait, I've seen this one. Wait, no, go back. I've seen this one before. And it was like maybe 15 minutes that I was just sitting there scrolling through videos.
You'd be surprised how much time goes by while you're just watching 3-minute or 2-minute TikTok videos.
Yeah, I think even more so than with, something like Twitter, where you get, like snippets of text and sometimes videos and stuff. But with this one, I was way more quickly engrossed into watching the videos.
I think that's why it's so popular, because it's just like sucks you into the screen.
Absolutely.
I think Instagram is also going towards video too. So they're doing the reels and stuff similar to TikTok.
Sure. And Facebook has the stories, right? That's those can be text-based though too, but.
Yes, I think they are also leaning towards doing video. I was reading some article about the TikTok or the Instagram founder or the CEO saying that they're moving towards video in the future. Just like everything's going to be video now.
Well, you'll get to experience it. You get the demo here first, and then everybody can go out and try it on their own and see what they think. And I want to thank Rebecca for teaching us today. Before we finalize everything, are there any other questions we can answer for anybody today? If not, feel free to reach out. Do you want to go ahead and put your emails in the chat?
Yes, I can put my email in there.
I got yours, and I'll put mine in there too.
Okay.
And so feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. We will send that follow-up email with the link to the video recording. So I know someone mentioned that they may have had a little bit of trouble seeing some of the icons. So yeah, if you want, feel free to go back to that. Once we have the recording up, go back to that video. And it might be a little easier to see some of it on a full screen view.
The slides also have the screenshots. So once we send out the webinar slides, or if you want to come pick them up, we can have them printed for you. I have really crisp, clear screenshots. I know I had to the thing with TikTok, is you get the videos, so you have the disparity between the video color and the brightness.
And it's also our document camera. It's not, it's just that the document camera is picking up the different brightness of the different light sources that happen. So, but yeah, we will send out the handout too. So you're welcome to, watch the YouTube video at the same time that you have the handout in front of you with your phone or tablet out too. So, in fact, I do that. I recommend that. So, all right. Well, I want to say thank you everyone for coming today. Thank you to Rebecca for teaching us TikTok today. And we hope to see you in the future for other webinars or in-person programming once we have that again. So, all right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.